Hello everyone. Welcome. It's me, Sesmic. This video is gonna be a little bit different than, oh my god, a little bit different than typical videos because it's like I kind of have like an actual topic for once. Like, wowee, man. What a big accomplishment for the Sesmic channel. But yeah, for those of you who are not aware, I recently applied for a job, my first ever job the other day. Well, by the other day, I mean like a week ago. Ow, I'm so dead. Yeah, I just kind of applied to this place because I have a friend, like in real life, believe it or not. And she applied to this place. So I'm like, hey, I've been looking for a job, or well, I've been thinking about getting a job for a little bit now. Let's try applying to this place. So I finally am like, okay. I go over to this place and it's like, okay, I applied to it. You know, typical thing. It was my first ever time making an application to a place. Well, actually, I made an application to this one place, but there's like one restaurant. But like when I was gonna like turn in my application, they were like, oh nope, sorry, bro. Can't really hire you because of COVID. Business is doing horrible because of COVID. So yeah, I don't really count that as an actual application because it really isn't. I just got lagged back so weirdly there. But so yeah, my friend, they applied to this place and they got, the day they applied, they got interviewed and they got, hired. Like literally, I'm not even kidding, like the day they applied and they have like no job experience or anything. So I was like, oh yeah, I got this in the bag. So then day after, I don't get a call. But it's a Sunday, so I'm like, oh, maybe they're just not like hiring on or like checking applications or whatever on Sundays. And man, this guy is really not the guy I want to be 1v1ing like first game on while I'm trying to commentate. So I go to bed that day, no like phone call, no nothing, no response from the place I applied to. So I'm just like, oh, it's Sunday. They're probably just not hiring on Sunday. So next day comes around, it's a Monday. It's still no response. I'm feeling a little bit bad. I'm like, oh man, I think I got like rejected or whatever. So finally, next day comes around. Well, on that Monday, I kind of had like the most copium thing like I've ever said. I was like, huh, maybe they just don't hire on Mondays. You know, Sundays and Mondays just not hiring days. So yeah, Tuesday comes around. I'm feeling a little bit. I'm like kind of in bed all day. I'm like really sad. I'm like, man, I got rejected from my first ever like application. Feels bad, man. See, you know what? After about like 4 or 5 days of waiting for a response, just getting none, I'm like, okay, you know what? My music sounds are too loud. But I'm like, you know what? What am I really good at? I'm really good at being annoying. So I go ahead and I contact, well, I go around and I look for their like contacts. So I find their email, like to the official place, and I emailed this poor little employee in like a different, like a completely different location than where I applied. So I'm contacting this person on like the opposite side of Arizona. And this poor person probably just was like, what the hell? But so yeah, basically they referred me to the actual number that I should be contacting in the actual like email. So I emailed this other person and they give me the proper contact, and they were like, hey, if you wanna have any updates, you can contact this number. So I go ahead, I contact that number. I think this is on like the 5th day or maybe even the 6th day after I apply. So I'm not feeling super positive, but I'm like, man, I'm gonna be so annoying. I'm gonna get them to like interview me or whatever. So I contact them. At first I contacted, you know how they have like sometimes when you contact a business, they're like, press 1 to talk to certain person or press 2 to contact this other person. And I didn't really know which one I needed to talk to. So I kind of I did the wrong one at first, and this person, dude, I could tell from their voice they were so done with this. They were like, oh my god, dude, I just want to have an easy day. Why do you have to do me like this? So I hang up on them, and I press the actual right button this time. I feel really bad for that other person. But so yeah, I finally get into contact with the proper person. But the thing is, so at first, he got lagged back. He's so lucky, dude. Okay, so I basically start off this phone call and I'm like, okay, so they answer after I'm waiting about 2 minutes. I go through this whole thing for 2 minutes. I was just like waiting on like hold or whatever. And I'm on a hold, so I mute my phone because I don't really want to like not be on hold anymore and have like weird background. Like I don't want to be talking about something and then like all of a sudden they answer the phone. So I'm on mute, right? While I'm on hold. And finally once they answer, right, I'm like, okay, hello, my name's blah blah blah. I'm just contacting you because I was told to by this other person I contacted, and they're like, they told me I could get status on my application if I contacted this number. And this lady, she goes, hey, and I'm like, hey, hello? I'm kind of confused why she just said hey. So she says hey again, and I'm really confused at this point. And it turns out that I forgot to unmute myself. So for about a minute, right? We're like a minute into this conversation. Ow, he scored again. We're a minute into this conversation, right? And I was muted the entire time. I'm so lucky this person didn't just hang up on me or something. Because I would have hung up on somebody if they were just muted for a minute. Finally, I talked to this lady. She's super, super nice. Like, she laughed about it once I said that I was muted and everything. She was just super nice about it. So she's like, okay, I'll refer you to the, I'll go get the manager. You can talk to her. Just wait a few minutes. I'm going to leave you on hold. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait a few minutes. My anxiety is kind of high because I don't really know what to say. I'm like kind of worried because I was half expecting to just get a response like, oh yeah, your application got denied. You suck, dude. So dude, I'm not kidding. I'm waiting there on hold. 5 minutes in, I'm like, okay, they're gonna be here soon. 10 minutes in, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Dude, I had to wait 20 minutes on hold to talk to this person. 20 minutes. I was, dude, I thought like, my thought like at first was, dude, this lady just like ghosted me or something. Like she just lied about leaving me on, or leaving me on hold. She's not getting the manager. She's just out of here, dude. She didn't want to deal with me. She's just like, oh, okay, get rid of this person. So then finally, after 20 minutes on this, well, 30 minutes if you count the original time I was waiting, but 20 minutes after I said that they were going to leave me on hold, or they said they were going to leave me on hold, I finally get into contact with this person and this manager person. I talked to them for not even a minute, all right? That the entire I waited 20 minutes just to talk to this person for maybe 50 seconds. Like, really, like, bruh. So then once I start talking to this person, they say hello, and I'm like, hey, I was told to contact this number by a person I talked to about my job application. And they're just like, oh, okay, what's your name? What's your name? Blah, 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 you know, usual thing. So then for about 10-15 seconds, she looks my application up and is like, oh, yeah, okay, I see your application here. So the thing is, we're not actually checking applications right now because of the upcoming movie that's being released. So we're not checking them until about next week. And I'm like, really? Okay. Because I was waiting here this entire time thinking I got like denied or something. And it just turns out they're just not looking at applications. So this waited 20 minutes on this phone call just for this like one-line response like, oh yeah, we're just not checking applications until next week and we're just not doing any more interviews. So then I'm like, okay, that's completely fine. I understand. But luckily, actually me being annoying paid off because they're like, okay, we'll put you on like a priority list to interview next week once we can. So bro, I'm like pogging out because I'm like 100% sure that like I can pog out during an interview. Like I'm gonna be chilling. But yeah, super nice lady. But yeah, that's that little story. My first ever time applying somewhere. Yeah, and I guess I'm going to be doing an interview there next week, so we'll see how that goes. If it works out, oh well, I could get myself a job. Pretty crazy. What does that mean for videos? Probably nothing like at all, because I don't really record on the days that I'm going to be working if I do get accepted. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And it's different than usual, but hopefully you enjoyed somewhat. Peace out, everybody.